Hey friends, what's up? Ash here, welcome back to Gents. How are you doing? What is that? It's like anti-ASMR. How are you doing? No, this never happens to you. Never ever. Buying a fragrance and then realizing, holy crap, I paid way too much for this. What am I doing? Well, today we're gonna be talking about fresh fragrances that are worth every penny. And these are scents that are going to work a little bit better for spring and summertime because fresh. And some of these are very affordable, and that is one of the reasons that they're worth every penny. Others are just that good. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about it. 10 fresh designer fragrances worth every penny. And friends, I will have these linked in the description below. Feel free to check them out down there. If I point faster, that's more emphasis. Also want to remind you that if you use the code GENTS10 at maxaroma.com or twistedlily.com, you will receive 10% off your order. That is 5% more than 5%, or you could say it's double 5%. Alternatively, if you shop at luckyscent.com, you can use the code GENTS2023, which is good until the end of June for 10% off your order. So if you want those niche fragrances, scoop them up at a moderate discount. And guys, because I love you so much, I'm gonna be giving away this later on in the video. Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum, nice freshie, so stay tuned for that later on. Okay, let's jump into it. Let's dive in head first. First fragrance is a scent that you can get for quite a nice price online at discounters. And actually, when I was looking before this video, some of the prices made no sense. I think some websites had the 100 milliliter size priced like $1 or $2 less than the 50 milliliter size. So it's one of those fragrances where, at least as of when I'm shooting this, who knows, when the video comes out, maybe they fix it, but as of right now, it's madness. So make sure you check the price on this one before you pull the trigger. It's from Burberry, and it's Mr. Burberry Element. This fragrance I do not think could have come out more under the radar if Burberry tried. Now, of course, the Mr. Burberry line in general did not quite meet Burberry's expectations, unfortunately. And I feel for you, Burberry. It's very sad because they came out with the original Mr. Burberry, and when it was first announced, there was a good amount of hype behind it. Pretty nice presentation, put a little bow on it. And what's that? Oh, Francis Kurkdjian is the perfumer? So Burberry coming out with a blue fragrance and a nice looking new presentation with Francis Kurkdjian as the perfumer. Yeah, it looked like it was gonna be massive. Lots of people were hyped about it, and then it came out and just, it didn't really do so good. I mean, of course, there are people that really do enjoy those fragrances. I'm not saying nobody enjoys them. I'm just saying, which one hit harder? Sauvage or Mr. Burberry? So Element comes out at the tail end of all the Mr. Burberry fragrances, all the flankers, and just nothing. Nobody seemed to care. But I actually like it a good amount. It's very refreshing. It has good versatility. It's a scent that during spring or summertime is gonna work just about anywhere. It has a youthful tinge to it, but it's not overly bubblegummy. It's got a somewhat interesting note breakdown. You have mineral notes in there. You've got juniper. You have almond, I believe. It's just a really wearable fragrance, and it has a great compliment factor to it as well that nobody seems to care about. So it's a really nice under the radar fragrance, and if you can get it for a very good price, like I said, some discounters have it marked off way more than others, but get it for a good price point. That stuff will be a wonderful everyday wear. All right, let's keep it moving. I have spoken too much already. Versace Man Eau up next. Another one that you can find sometimes at discounters for a very good price. And again, that's what I would tell you to do. Scoop it for that low price. A very fresh and aquatic fragrance, which is not a surprise because it is literally called Eau Fraiche. Wonderful summertime scent that still sells very well, actually. In the top 20 best-selling men's fragrances of the year in the US last year. I mean, it was 19th, so it was just barely in the top 20, but still, top 20 is top 20. A little bit similar to Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue for women, with a slightly more masculine touch to it. It's a wonderful fragrance for high heat situations, and again, at discounters, I think it's worth every penny. Let's follow that one up with Prada's Loam. Now this one is gonna be more expensive at discounters than the last two that we talked about, but this Loam DNA, I still like a lot. That powdery iris in here, that soapy iris, very clean, very easy to wear in the office or more formal situations while still having a clean, fresh edge to it. Prada Loam does that extremely well. Unfortunately, Prada Loam, I don't know how long it's going to be around for. This is one of those fragrances where it wouldn't surprise me if it gets the axe at some point in the not too distant future, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope that doesn't happen, and I hope that they come out with more Prada Loam fragrances. Clean, sophisticated, fresh, floral fragrance, Prada Loam. Again, if you love iris, check this stuff out. Next fragrance is Emporio Armani Stronger With You Freeze. Now, this one has kind of been supplanted by Stronger With You Only. Stronger With You Only is a fine fragrance. There's nothing wrong with it, but I think between the two, Stronger With You Freeze is more interesting, and between the two, I'd rather wear this one. So this is a little bit of a different fresh fragrance compared to the ones that we've talked about so far, because this one is fresh in the opening and icy in the opening, which you would expect because it's named Freeze. So you get that brisk open, but as it dries down, it gets closer to the original Stronger With You, which is of course more of a warm, gourmandy fragrance, a sweeter fragrance that people would think of as a fall and winter time scent. So this one is kind of like bridging the gap between spring, summer, fall, winter, all in one bottle. So you have citrus in here and ginger, again in that opening, very fresh, very brisk. And then you have that vanilla sweet dry down. So this one is a great scent for daytime into nighttime, you know, the kind of fragrance that you could spray on earlier in the day and wear it out in the evening, and it would still work just as well as when you sprayed it on. This next fragrance is a big bang for your buck, especially at discounters. I guess all of them, right? Yeah, Missoni Wave. Missoni Wave, sometimes very affordable at discounters. Whisper in it. Make sure Missoni doesn't hear me and try to jack the price up somehow. Wonderful presentation. Love the color, this blue look, very nice. And you got the magnetic cap to finish it all off. A little bit similar to Allure Homme Sport and Versace Pour Homme. So it has a similar scent profile to those. Bright, fresh, aquatic scent, wonderful opening with a very appealing citrus. An uplifting scent. It's gonna work just as well during the evening as the day. You can wear it to the office casually, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's a reason Missoni Wave is always being hyped as a great cheapie. And again, this one, absolutely worth every penny. We got a fragrance coming up from Lacoste, then we'll talk about one more scent. We'll do the giveaway and then wrap everything up. Fragrance from Lacoste is Loam Timeless. I very much enjoy the Lacoste Loam fragrances as cheapies. So the original Lacoste Loam Intense, and this one, I think all three are worth owning at a heavily discounted rate. One of the reasons for that is they make use of rhubarb, which is a note that I very much enjoy that doesn't get used very often. Come to think of that, why have I not made a fragrance with rhubarb in it yet? What am I doing? Rhubarb, here we come. Also got mandarin orange in here, black pepper, decent amount of it, and vanilla. Extremely wearable, very easy to pull off. It could have better performance. That is the one issue, and it's funny, the name is Timeless, and the fragrance is anything but. Well, in terms of longevity. I guess when they said timeless, they meant that like the fragrance would be timeless. You get what I'm saying. You know. And this is one I think just about any age can pull off. Yeah, it's maybe a little bit youthful in the opening. It's got that rhubarb and citrus. It's a little playful, little brisk open. But as it dries down, woods in here do give it a nice, classy base. Follow that up with Mont Blanc Explorer. This one is worth every penny because it doesn't cost too many pennies nowadays. When it first came out at full retail, not really a great buy, because then at that point you're buying essentially a designer kind of take on Creative Ventus, and it is not cheap at full retail, but at discounters, yeah, absolutely go for it. Knock yourself out. It has a more modern woodiness to it instead of the birch and musk and vanilla that you're gonna get from the actual Creative Ventus, which has more of a smokiness. Instead, this is more of a fresh vetiver kind of thing going on as it dries down, and has more of an emphasis on fresh spices than Creative Ventus does, but still very well done, extremely versatile. And at the price point you can get this for, it's worth it. Giveaway time, Aqua de Joe Eau de Parfum. Bottle only, apologies for that, but it does have a cap. and that's nice. It's good to have the cap. This is not in the list. I just had this laying around and I thought, you know, fresh fragrances, this is fresh, I'll give it away. You should know the drill by now, but if you don't, let's run through it. If you want to be entered in the giveaway, you have to leave a comment below. Otherwise, how would I know to pick you? In the comment, I just want you to say, what is a fresh fragrance that to you is worth every penny? That could be at retail, discounters, I don't care, man, just let me know. You have to be subscribed to the channel, so if you're not, subscribe. You have to like the video, so if you haven't, like it. That's all you gotta do. It's pretty simple. Oh, and you know what? Also, if you're on Instagram, follow me there, gents_scents. And while I'm just saying all this stuff, man, follow Extra Gent Scents. It's my extra channel. Type it in on YouTube, Extra Gent Scents, let's go. Anyway, 2 weeks from now, I'll give you a lot of time to enter. I will pick a winner with random comment picker. I will post it up on the community tab of the YouTube channel. If you're subscribed, you should see it. If you're the winner, just reply to that post with the same account that you used to make the comment in this video, and I will ship it to you worldwide. I will eat the cost on shipping. And this is my warning that I always give. There's gonna be scammers in this video pretending to be me. I will not leave any comments on this video, okay? Where I'm telling you, hey, you won, pay me money. That's not gonna happen. Those are scammers, don't fall for it. All right, let's keep going. Gentleman Cologne. I love Gentleman Cologne. I really, really dig this. This is kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the line, I feel like. Maybe this and the original Eau de Toilette to an extent are viewed that way, but I think it's really nice. All the other ones, other than the original, are heavier, right? They're a little more for fall and wintertime use. I guess Gentleman Society is not quite as much, but that one just came out. But that's, in general, how people thought of the Gentleman line, or think of it. You know, iris fragrances that have decent heft, nice depth to them, and kind of a creamy, sweet iris. The iris in here, though, is much fresher. It's kind of watery, aquatic a little bit. Has much more of a green tinge to it. I find it uplifting, elegant, extremely clean. I think Gentleman Cologne for spring and summertime is just an amazing scent. And it's overlooked nowadays, frankly. Follow that one up with Artisan Pure from Varvatos. Now this one got a lot more hype than Gentleman Cologne, and it makes sense why. It's got a little bit of an aromatic feel to it, but it has a ton of citrus off the top. And the way the citrus comes across is actually, for me anyway, a little bit more akin to how you would expect like a white floral fragrance with a citrus feel to come across, because it's very smooth, elegant, very fresh with a decent sweetness, but not a whole lot of tartness in there from the citrus, and not what I would call a particularly juicy citrus opening either. But it is smooth, classy, refined, and for a freshie, it's got surprising versatility as far as more formal uses. So Artisan Pure, this stuff is really, really good. Last one, fragrance out of nowhere. Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Aviator, or as normal people would call it, Aviator. So obviously it's a fresh fragrance, otherwise it wouldn't be in this list, but I would say out of just about everything here, other than maybe Stronger With You Freeze, it's not as obviously fresh as most of these others, because this does have more sweetness to it. It has more of that creamy sweetness. It's also got bergamot in there, it's got geranium, and even though it does have a lot of tonka, it still maintains that freshness from the opening into the dry down. It just ramps up the sweetness a bit more than some of the other ones here, but that does do very well for pulling compliments. And of the fragrances here, it's actually gonna be one of the best ones for that. And I would say that also versus a lot of these other scents, that one is gonna shine more during the evening as well. So there we go, that one's gonna wrap this list up. And even though Aviator is not heavily discounted like some of these others, I do think that it shines a lot more than it gets credit for. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there.